Øystein Pedersen placing himself well there, but not quite as dynamic over this rise, although keeping it steady. He's got second place now.
Yeah, Øystein, who lives in the Norwegian capital in Oslo these days, just hasn't really hit the heights, has he, Mike? You know, he hasn't won one of these. He's been third and second in plenty of sprints, you know, Kuusamo and Dusseldorf and places like that. He was sixth at the last Olympics, but he didn't get a place at the World Championships in Val di Fiemme. So he's got plenty to prove.
And that's exactly what he's saying. He says, give me a chance and I'll show you what I can do. So he has to make it happen today. He nearly stumbled there. This is running, David, 4 seconds slower than the previous heat, although Punzinski was a long way out at the top of that hill.
Good shot, really nice. Different camera angle there from our hosts NRK, and that gave you an idea of just how hard that corner is to make.
And here, when you've got 45 kilometers an hour, it doesn't look fast. It is fast, and you're on these very skinny skis that have no ankle support through your ski shoes.
Pedersen out of the track, but back into the track. The other man there with him as well. You've got Theodor Pedersen and Øystein Pedersen, just to confuse us. 2 Swedes in there, Eriksson, and the Swedes have now found their way to the front. Theodor Pedersen and Jens Eriksson. And it's the Swedes now, and it's Jens Eriksson leading the way at this moment.
And on paper, you would expect him to be the potential slowest in qualifying, but he's on fire.
Honda just tucked in behind here. The Japanese looking for a way through, being forced to come out of the tracks. Come on, Yuichi, you're not that far off now. And on the far side, Norway now in the shape and form of Øystein Pedersen, getting the better of it. Honda's got nowhere to go. He's got to come out of the tracks. He can't stay there because he won't qualify. And the other Norwegian coming up as well. But here, this is Honda trying desperately, but it's too late. Too late.
Well done, Pedersen. He played that so well. It's a slower qualifying at 2:53. In fact, the slowest.
Yeah, so if we go back to the first quarter-final, Mike, I think that the fastest losers are going to come right out of that. I think it's going to be Thomas North. Just having a look at this. Am I right? Second quarter-final. It's going to be Chobotko and Baptiste Gros. That's my unofficial view at the moment, because that particular quarterfinal was 2 seconds faster than anything else. Chobotko, now who's got the other, and it is, yeah, Chobotko and Baptiste Gros.
Interesting. There's 23, of course, Pedersen. He played it sensibly. He didn't overpush on the first initial climb. And look at the double poling power here, David. This is top class, the best possible double poling action, really going up onto your toes, leaning forward, full body weight through the ski poles.
Well, before you've had time to catch your breath, guess where we're going now? Back to the women's semi-finals. So, you've got the lineup of them. Malvaleto, Weng, Kilonen, Smutner, Sumska, Jaitnes, and they're wearing for, that is Anne Kilonen for Finland. Should be there or thereabouts. Unlucky, I guess, to have the two of them, Malvaleto and Kilonen, their top 2 sprinters in the same semi-final. So that will just simply inspire Heidi Weng.
And Heidi Weng, of course, with Jaitnes in there as well. 2 Norwegians, 2 Finns, Austrian, and a Swede.
Yeah, I think Linn Sumska of Sweden's going to have a work cut out here, dealing with the other 5 rivals, and straight again, Malvaleto, as she did in the quarterfinal, going straight out and positively into the lead.
Heidi Weng, 24, closest to the camera. She didn't do anything over the top early stages of the last heat, and you just feel she's got the power, the technique to come through in the home straight.
definite advantage off the start, Mike, you'd think, of having that near side or far side track draw, because you don't have to jump or squeeze, where if you're on the far side, then you have to actually track change.
Well, that's the only aspect I dislike about this course, because the tracks are broken at one point where it crosses a road, and then you've got that awkward juggling of lanes as you come out off the start line.
So Marveleto and Heidi Beng. Then you've got Kilonen wearing 4 just behind. And then you've got the other 2 Norwegians, Heitnes in there. Heitnes wearing 13-10. Katarina Smutner, but don't rule her out. She finished very strongly. Smutner to qualify by her own right behind Marveleto, and biding your time. If you make the right moves at the right time, you can come from behind.
This is a brave performance from Marveleto, because yes, she had the fastest time in the qualifying. She did this in the previous heat to get through to the semi-final, and now to be leading again is not always the best advantage, but she's fearless.
She's fearless, but I've seen her run out of gas. This has certainly been her best and most progressive season, having got that first ever World Cup victory. Now a chance to have a look at the skis, and everybody's skis running pretty well at the moment. 42.86 kilometers per hour. Heidi Beng just slipping out there to the right there. Samska, oh, and Heidi Beng was in trouble.
No, in fact, Heidi Beng at the back, David, that's Heitnes, I believe.
Yeah, but the trouble came there with Heidi Beng, and that's why she is at the back, because she really blew that. There was no place for her to go. And now you've got the 2 Finns and Samska, Sweden, who hadn't written off, but I said he was going to be pretty tough, in with a chance of a, maybe, you never know, a lucky loser place. But it's Finland 1 and 2, Marveleto, Kilonen, these 2 commanding at the moment.
Certainly in terms of all the sprint courses, it appears narrow. You've got to be on the inside line for the best line around these bends, which creates these traffic jams.
The last Finn to win here in the women's division, Virpi Koitunen. That was the 3rd of her successes in the past decade.
You just feel Heidi Beng will come through, but she's left it so difficult for herself in this final stages.
Heidi Beng wearing 24, really charging now, and Heidi Beng putting in a really strong challenge on Anne Kilonen now, and look at this. This is the gusto and the fight from Heidi Beng. I will not be denied, and you can see Marveleto gets there, and so does Beng.
Beng is delighted. She thought she was out and finished, but that little bit of fighting spirit comes through.
Her shape and form is really holding up. Well, what a second semi-final we've got. Justina Kowalczyk, the leader, there she is, wearing the yellow bib of the World Cup. We got Kiken Randall, the Sprint World Cup champion for the season. We've got Aina Kaiser Saarinen, former Sprint World Champion, who's rediscovering her form late in the season. We've got Yevgenia Shapovalova of Russia, who hasn't fallen over at the moment. Denise Herman, top German tactician, and Ørsberg for Norway. What a semi-final. 3:19.3. Not a quick time for the first. Oh, not a quick time for the first semi, Mike, when you compare it to the qualifying of 3:06.59 by Marveleto. So conditions changed as the sun's gone away.
Well, that's right. It's a lot of machine-made snow, so it's dry powder crystals, which doesn't have a lot of glide factor. And earlier the sun was on it, which made it slide, well, probably those 10-12 seconds faster. And it's getting colder as the minutes tick by.
Who's got the warning? I couldn't quite work that out, actually. Just makes it a little bit more exciting.
Justina Kowalczyk will be looking to get a good break clear and then lead it from, like she did last time, from the gun.
This is much harder for her, though. Kiken Randall. Keeping up to playing some games with Justina, I wonder.
Maybe. And look at the way they keep the skis moving. That's so that the wax isn't building any ice or dripping too much.
Justina never gets the first stride, but then suddenly she powers through, and Saarinen forced to tuck in behind her. Keegan Randall's got a clear run until Shapovalova goes in front of her, and then in front goes Østberg for Norway. And Østberg, this excellent young racer, same generation as Heidi Beng, but just at this moment in time it's Heidi Beng who's making the greater progress. But here comes the machine, the engine.
It takes Justina some 20 seconds to build up her velocity. Once she's got her velocity, the tempo kicks in, and then she's almost unstoppable. And I love the way the Norwegian fans gave her such a cheer. They respect how amazing this woman is.
Could be Porsche, Ferrari, Mercedes, but it's one heck of a good engine. But as we were saying, Mike, you know, she's 30 now, and as you reach that age, the engine has some mileage on it, or kilometers on it, and in her general racing program, I still stick by the fact that she needs to be more astute, like Marit Bjørgen, in the seasons to come. If she wants to win the big medals on the Olympic stage, then taking on the whole World Cup season is something, just personally, I feel that she's got to revise.
I think you're onto something there, and of course the great Marit Bjørgen has revised that over the years. Well, 4 years ago she felt it was too much pressure, too much travel. But, well, maybe Justina will change the routine next year.
But, of course, when you see her do that, everything I've just said appears to be complete rubbish.
When you look at what she did in the Tour de Ski and the World Championship, sadly, tactically she got wrong, but she can destroy a field in just 1 minute, 20 seconds, the top of that hill. But it's not over yet. I mean, they will close her down on this descent, but she will come strong again on the home straight.
But Keegan right at the back, Denise Herman. Now, where's Keegan going to go? A bit of uncomfortable moments there for Saarinen, but look at the double polling here. And she's got them all at the stretch here. Shapovalova just about second. Saarinen, Herman just ahead of her. And also for Norway, you've got Østberg and Keegan Randall. At the moment, can't get into this. She's right at the back. And she hasn't got anywhere to go, really. She's out of the track on the far side there, and she's at the back of the field.
I think the shock to the system here, David, nobody expected Justina to go this hard, and it's caught Keegan Randall not sleeping, but by surprise.
Well, I don't know that they should have been surprised, because this is exactly the same tactic, and Shapovalova going with her again. This is the same as it was in the quarterfinals, and Shapovalova actually doing a really good job here, and she's the one who's really trying to get there, and you can see they're all trying to close. Here comes Keegan putting in her charge now. She's second from the right there behind Saarinen, and is there a way through here? It's going to be Justina, that's for sure. Is it going to be Shapovalova? Is it going to be Østberg who's counter-attacking? I think it's going to be Shapovalova. Still this nasty little lip to come. Shapovalova accelerates and is better balanced. That was good finishing by Shapovalova.
Well, I'm surprised to see that. Justina in a photo for the lead, is that right?
Well, I think so, because Shapovalova was aware of the danger. Well, that still looks like Justina to me.
Justina didn't put her lead foot across. She brought her left foot. That's why she was way ahead.
Yeah.
I hope we see that again. She didn't quite break the beam.
Shapovalova's best ever result. You might remember this, Mike. Early December, Kuusamo, runner-up.
Yeah, that was by surprise, and I thought she was going to have a wonderful season leading on from there.
Now the first race of the season in sprint classic terms, and won by Marit Bjørgen, the absent